Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super speculation video. Actually, it's not necessarily a theory because there's obviously no way we can actually prove this, but actually joining to me today is D-Free. D-Free, why don't you say hi? Why are you laughing in the background? What is going on?
It's funny you didn't hear me. I was thinking the Scooby-Doo theme song.
Why you gotta do this? I'm trying to be serious.
Oh man, Mark, you know you can't be serious. Stop fronting for these people on YouTube, bro. That's all you
It's like
do.
honestly half of my subs are like, oh my god, I really love it. It's like you're giggle, you're fucking, it's just fun to listen to your videos, and then the other half are like, why can't you be more serious?
Lighten up. It is YouTube.
Come on,
Thanks for having me
Scooby-Doo.
back, man.
Yeah, no, anytime, man. And I just wanted to say, like, I thought of this video. I wanted to do this with you as soon as I thought of it. And I actually was doing a video with MJ the other day, and he was like, we just kind of got into a little rant outside of the topic of our video. And I was like, I'm going to do this video later. And I decided to bring you on for it because I think it's really an interesting kind of speculation video. But basically, guys, what I'm thinking about is, wouldn't it be cool, or would it be like even plausible to any degree to have basically Vegeta come into the Omniversal tournament, and instead of fighting for Universe 7, because honestly at this point we're not necessarily sure whether the Omniversal tournament is going to have any real stakes, like kind of the Universal tournament didn't have any real stakes to begin with. What if Vegeta kind of taking like wanting to kind of meet and train with Kaba a little bit and everything decides to actually just give up and go fight for Universe 6, and allows us to see maybe even in the finals at the very end of Dragon Ball Super a final fight, a third round between Goku and Vegeta, ending the series or something, and just allowing us to show this like inward progression that they've been having, this whole thing, this fight between them actually just be settled on the battlefield in a good old-fashioned tournament. So D3, what do you think about that?
I think that's a really good idea. I think that once again, like in our first attempt at recording this, I think that there is a lot of fan service in that, but that's basically what it's done so far. I mean, they've established so much different things in the anime that kind of are 100% just there to pay homage to the fans and kind of just give them something to look forward to. So I think that would be one of the things, obviously that's going to sell very well. Mm-hmm. They may even throw out, some new clothes on him or whatever, and just make it the whole nine, bro. But no, I think that really is kind of like a good way to close off his development, to say like, okay, this guy was a guy that was basically rivals with this character. And then from there, he, around the time of the Buu arc, was like, hey, you're the best, I give up. And then he makes a full 360. It's like, oh, well, actually, I want to get better than you, but we're not really rivals at this point. We're kind of friends at this point, but we're not going to admit that we're friends. And, they kind of split off and do their own thing for a while. If Vegeta joins obviously with a different team, he'd be a competitor for Goku at that point. I think that kind of brings it all full circle to where everything pretty much began for this character. It's a good way to cap him off, in my opinion. Is to say, like, maybe this isn't the definitive ending of the series. Maybe they come back 20 minutes later, because that's assuming that they end the show with that arc. And how amazing would it be to end it with that arc and that fight? Mm-hmm. That's kind of similar to what Naruto did, and is kind of doing at this point, where they end it with Goku, goddamn. Naruto and Sasuke, kind of fighting. And it's the two main characters. And you see these guys and you kind of look at them in hindsight and see their development as children, making their way all the way up to where they are now. Whereas, like, I know you don't probably know too much about Naruto, but Sasuke left the village for a while and he kind of turned rogue and all these different things. And now he's back, wanting to be back with the village. So it's kind of like Vegeta's character and his development from his initial, oh, I'm a badass, I'm a Saiyan, all these different things, to him being a Dragon Ball Super, begging Whis and cracking eggs and all this comedic, and then Battle of Gods dancing on the stage and stuff that pisses the hardcore fans off, because they don't understand why he's like that, and they don't understand why he's not just a badass all the time anymore. Mm-hmm. But like, I think that'd be really cool for him, and they also is a way to kind of showcase how strong he is comparatively, because Goku is a character that always will have these insane power-ups that kind of just come out of the ass, like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, totally out of the ass, out of nowhere. And just to say that Vegeta is able to fight evenly with him, especially in the context of the anime, because the manga does things a little bit differently, would also be very good for his development as well.
No, I completely agree. And I feel like just going off of like exactly what you were saying, and I feel like this, like we've talked about in multiple videos in the past, I feel like Dragon Ball Super has done so much to give so much character weight to Vegeta as, individually. I mean, obviously we've talked about basically Goku being who he is in this entire story. He can't necessarily become more defined than he actually is. He has to be the guy who steps up and wins and saves the day. He can't get like these great, massive emotional character arcs the same way that Gohan and Vegeta and everyone else can. So we have been focusing, at least character-wise, on Vegeta a lot in this series because he's gotten the most character development out of anyone. And just having to see them actually go and fight each other in the way that, like, obviously this would be, like I said, the third round. Goku won the last one, although he's never necessarily won without help. But Goku won the last one. Vegeta basically kind of won, or the second one. The first one is Goku's, the second one's Vegeta's. And this is like the canonized version of the final fight. And then, it also kind of pays homage to Dragon Ball Online, which kind of insinuates that they went out fighting each other in the same light that they would in the, if the series were to end here. Plus, like, I feel like if we just were to do this, it would make a whole lot of sense for both characters, and then you can have kind of play off the same kind of model that you were just talking about with the Blue Kaioken, that they kind of played off the fact that Goku can't actually use it anymore, because if he uses it, he won't be able to fight anymore. So, like, and then also playing about with, like, taking that, and then also taking character development that we got from Vegeta during that tournament itself, where, like, he was infuriated by having actually won by a technicality, or not being disqualified per technicality, that like he was able to beat Vegeta and then go into fight Hit. I feel like him, like Goku, basically being on par, even in the same light that he was during the Majin Vegeta saga and Dragon Ball Z, like where Goku was holding back but Vegeta didn't know it. If Vegeta knows that he's holding back this time because like Goku can't use the Kaioken, because if he does, he won't be able to fight again. It might like just to rip apart his body way too much that he won't be able to fight. Then maybe like, once they have a really good match, Vegeta will just give up. And that would be a really interesting character development for him. It would kind of showcase this whole series worth of information that, like, yes, they are not enemies anymore. They're basically friends of their own right. And he's basically going on, he's like, look, like, we had a great fight. I feel like I am a match for you at this point, but like I will never be better than you, because you always have, like you said, you always have that trick up your sleeve, and I just can't ever compete with it. So I'm just going to give up. This was a good fight, and we're basically even. I'm happy with where I'm at.
Yeah, and that's perfect, man. I think that, once again, that's a good way to cap off his character, because it brings him full circle back to kind of where things began as far as like what the actions are. And basically it shows, that humanity in him, basically, where he's like, okay, I'm cool with this. We've been at this for so many years. I can't really beat you. And that's not to say anything bad about Vegeta or to say anything like that, because I'm sure Goku would kind of come to the same conclusion anyway. Mm-hmm. It's not just a Vegeta specific thing, but it's just kind of where this all, it seems like it could be leading to. Now, as far as the context of the show, they'll probably wind up being on the same team, and what that'll do is it'll allow them to showcase other stronger opponents, because I kind of find it hard to see Goku and Vegeta steamrolling everybody to get to the end. But, as far as like, the context of this video, it would be amazing if they did that. I would honestly be happy if they did that, because once again, it seems like the best fitting definitive ending to the way that the series has gone so far. I mean, it could honestly, if they do it right, they have the potential to have that on par with the endings to GT and Z, because Z is a little contrived, because it kind of just bounces forward 10 years. And then honestly, thinking about it, they kind of do have to try to find a way to weave that in, unless they're going to completely retcon that ending that Z established. And GT, even though it's not a part of this canon or whatever the case is, it had a good ending as well. I think that would be, once again, it's a good concept, but I think it would be best suited to end things off. So
No,
I don't know.
I completely agree. Plus, like the one of the biggest things that we've like kind of been speculating on, and not just us, but like also like a lot of people in this community thus far is like, this current arc has been really, really well received. Goku Black and Zamasu are really good villains, but there is a point where you realize that they really can't keep upping the ante for this entire series. You go a bit farther away than going universe hopping, time traveling, immortality seeking, or actually getting villains, and you're like, you can't necessarily do anything with that. You can't top that at certain points. So having an arc or having kind of a rivalry kind of come up at the very end where it's like you're just waiting. We're sitting there on pins and needles waiting for the Goku and Vegeta fight that's going to cap off basically either the Omniversal Tournament arc or even the series as a whole. Then there's no way that we wouldn't be excited for that and be really, really just ecstatic to see exactly what happens next, who they have to fight, all the trials and tribulations that both of them have to go through in order to actually get there. And I think that that is something that would be very interesting to see. It's something I really hope they do in the future. I know it's speculation. I know this is all fan servicey, fan fictiony stuff, but like we do it a lot in this channel.
Got it, man. This is just the whole show is fan service. You want to see Kaioken? We'll bring it back. You want to see Trunks return? We'll bring him back. You want to see Trunks go grade 3? We'll bring it back. You want to see an evil Goku? We'll bring it in. You want to see an evil Kai? We'll bring it in. You want to see all these? You want to see fusion? Well, I bet you it's coming. Don't worry about it.
I feel like that's the thing. Like that's the thing. If I could say anything about this video, or there's this speculation, I feel like the one thing I really want to see that we haven't actually seen yet and had no inclination to even glimpse at, besides the little bit that we've seen in the hyperbolic time chamber or the room of spirit and time, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think that seeing Goku and Vegeta fight a serious fight once again, after everything they've been through in this series and how they've been competing and how that's been like a major point in this entire series of their rivalry kind of driving both of them to be better and stronger than each other, I think that would be the perfect way to cap off this entire series, man.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
And that's how we end a video, guys. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure to go check out D-Free's channel. He does some amazing stuff, covers discussions, weekly reviews on Dragon Ball Super and Dokkan stuff, also other video game related topics with Dragon Ball. Anyway, guys, go check him out. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe here. Tell us what you think about Goku and Vegeta fighting to actually cap off the series, and we'll catch you in the next video. Anyway, bye.
You got it right, bro. It was check.
We'll
check you later.
Check you later.
Deuces. Drops the mic.